Hi guys, welcome back. Welcome back to Millionaire Mind Manifesting, or you're probably seeing me as Millionaire Mind TV. So today we're going to be getting some teachings from one of the late greats. Everybody loves Bob Proctor. So this video is intended to help you turn your annual income into your monthly income. So there's quite a bit of information. So I'm going to break this video up into two parts. And I kind of discovered this video and I want to share it with you. It's really important. It's a very important video. Let's get into it.
The course of my life. It's a subject not many people understand, but those who do sure live a lot better than the ones who don't. You know, a Spanish distiller one time said, "The good life's expensive. There's another way to live that doesn't cost as much, but it isn't any good." Well, a lot of what he said is true. Many years ago, a man gave me this book, Think and Grow Rich. I was flat broke. I had always been flat broke. I had never had any money. I was 26 years old. I had 2 months high school and no business experience. He said, "Bob, you read this, do exactly what I tell you, you can have anything you want." Now, I really didn't believe that, but I believed he believed it. And I said, all I want is some money. I figured if I had enough money, all my problems would go away. See, I was earning $4,000 a year, but I was $6,000. If I had paid every cent I owned or earned in 18 months, I would have just broken even. So I really didn't think I was going to be able to change that. Do you know, within a year, I was earning $15,000 a month. I went from $4,000 a year to $15,000 a month within a year. Now, I hadn't got that much smarter. You don't have to be very smart to earn money, but you do have to understand some basic rules, and that's what I want to talk to you about. You'll notice here, where we put money up on the screen, there's a young lady there and myself. She is my business partner, and I'm going to tell you, if I ever met anyone that understands money, this lady sure does. Sandy Gallagher is an absolutely brilliant woman. She was a securities attorney when I met her, had been in the banking business, in the law side of it, for 20 years. And she had done $100 billion in business. Now, I found that out by asking her. I said, "How much did you do?" She said, $100 billion. I thought, "You mean 100 million?" She said, "No, 100 billion. Now, if you consider it, she was turning banks public. She was buying banks, selling banks, merging banks.
Wow.
So she was dealing in a lot of money all the time. And I thought, that's the kind of person I want to work with. Well, she is my business partner today and has been for the past 10 years. She's absolutely brilliant when it comes to money. Well, that's what I'm going to talk to you about. And that's what I want you to think about. You see, the truth is, you can earn as much every month as you're presently earning in a year. We can show you how to turn your annual income into a monthly income. Now, that may sound like a gross exaggeration, but it is really not. It's the way it happens. Now, here's something that I read in this book when I first started to study it, and I first started to earn some money.
I'm just going to let you know you will have notes at the end of this, and those notes will have the name of the book. So I always do notes at the end of my videos.
It was by Napoleon Hill, and it's called Big Money. Listen very carefully, because when this is done, I'm going to show you how you can execute this. Napoleon Hill said, "When money comes in quantities known as the big money, it flows to the one who accumulates it as easily as water flows downhill."
I'll be back. Hold
Now,
on.
he says
Okay, guys, sorry about that. I had to take care of something really quick. All right.
you can earn as much every month as you're presently earning in a year. We can show you how to turn your annual income into a monthly income. Now, that may sound like a gross exaggeration, but it is really not. It's the way it happens. Now, here's something that I read in this book when I first started to study it, and I first started to earn some money. It was by Napoleon Hill, and it's called Big Money. Listen very carefully, because when this is done, I'm going to show you how you can execute this. Napoleon Hill said, "When money comes in quantities known as the big money, it flows to the one who accumulates it as easily as water flows downhill." Now he says there exists a great stream of power, which can be compared to a river, except that one side flows in one direction, carrying all who get into that side of the stream onward and upward to wealth, and the other side flows in the opposite direction, carrying all who are unfortunate enough to get into that side and not able to extricate themselves from it, downward to misery and poverty. Now, he said every person who has accumulated a great fortune has recognized the existence of this stream of life. It consists of one's thinking process. The positive emotions of thought form the side of the stream which carries one to fortune. The negative emotions form the side which carries one down to poverty. Now, he said this carries a thought of stupendous importance to the person who is following what we're talking about here with the object of accumulating a fortune. If you are on the side of the stream of power which leads to poverty, this may serve as an oar by which you may propel yourself to the other side of the stream. It can serve you only through application and use. Merely reading and passing judgment on it either one way or another will in no way benefit you. Now he says poverty and riches often change places. Poverty may, and generally does, voluntarily take the place of riches. But when riches take the place of poverty, the change is usually brought about through well-conceived and carefully executed plans. Poverty needs no plan. It needs no one to aid it because it is bold and ruthless. Riches are shy and timid. They have to be attracted. Of course, we talked about that in The Secret. You've got to attract it. Well, I think you're going to enjoy this. First of all, money has to be earned, and there is a law that governs this whole universe. Everything operates by a law. Well, Emerson wrote beautifully, Ralph Waldo Emerson, on the law of compensation. And the law of compensation is exact. The law of compensation clearly states the amount of money you earn will be in exact ratio to these 3 points. Number one, the need for what you do. The need for what you do. Number two, your ability to do it. And number three, the difficulty there will be in replacing you. Now think of that. Number one, the need for what you do. Number two, your ability to do it. And number three, the difficulty there is in replacing you. Now, odds are pretty good. The need for what you do is already there. You don't have to do anything about that. Number three will be taken care of if you take care of number two. You may want to think about this for a little while. I thought about it for a long while, and I realized it's pretty true. So you see, you only have to focus on one of those 3 points, and that is number two, your ability to do it. Whatever you're doing, you want to get better at it. Just keep working at getting better at what you're doing. And there isn't any competition. You're the only competition you're ever going to have. Master whatever you do. Master it. Now, I want you to think of...
Okay, guys, so that's the first part of the video. There's a lot to take in there. I'm going to make some notes. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so I'm back with some notes. All right, so the name of the book is called Big Money by Napoleon Hill. And there's a lot of notes I could have taken, but I've taken out the most important points. So he says positive emotions of thought equate to fortune. This is very important. Negative emotions of thought equate to poverty. So right there, we have a lesson that we've got to think positively if we want to accumulate wealth. And he also said riches are shy and timid and must be attracted. That's very interesting. I was not expecting that. Riches are shy and timid and must be attracted. I can't wait to get into the second part. And then the other part he says is whatever you do for work, you simply need to focus on the ability to do it. And I added one word, well. So be the best, and you can turn your annual income into your monthly income. I want to read that last part again. Whatever you do for work, you simply need to focus on the ability to do it and do it well. In other words, be the best, and you can turn your annual income into your monthly income. So guys, I'm going to get to part 2. Please look for number 2 of the same video with the same title. Thanks for stopping by. Bye for now.